But the road continues on here at TNF with some great wrestling action. And folks, speaking of, who's ready for some wrestling? Your opening contest for Thursday Night Fights is a trios match scheduled for one fall.
Welcome on into 880 Wrestling Thursday Night Fight. Pittsburgh's favorite jagoff, Austin Cairns, joined here with the professional Paul Michaels.
Introducing first, team number one. They are the team of Intern Mitch and his partners. Find out your local library, professional reader, Dalton Lexicon, and battle buff, Magnus. They are the Reading Rainbucks.
Starting things off in trios action, we have the Reading Rainbucks and Intern Mitch. What do you make of this team, Paul?
What an interesting team this is. I mean, Mitch will leech on to anyone and everything that will seemingly give him an advantage in his wrestling career and probably just in life in general.
Opponents.
I mean, he looks like he's quite literally taking a page out of Lexicon's book right now. But this next tag team is one of the standards here in 880 Wrestling.
Making their way to the ring, accompanied by Princess Amanda. They are the team of the Emperor's Finest, the Lost Primarch, Johnny fucking Demise, and the Gigabyte Grizzly, BroHemoth, Deathwatch. Their partner, one half of Psychedelic Dreams, he is the Psychedelic Prince, Sammy Suntheimer.
A little bit of cross-branding here with Princess Amanda's crew. We got Sammy Suntheimer of Psychedelic Dreams and, of course, Deathwatch.
Awesome. This is like a Princess Amanda super team here. You know, both groups that she's associated with in Psychedelic Dreams and Deathwatch. And, you know, we kind of get the best of both worlds here with those two teams.
It's like fantasy football, but in wrestling. Love to see the chemistry there already. Sammy Suntheimer going to start things off with possibly Intern Mitch. And here we go. Matchup is on their way. So much incredible more action to come here on Thursday Night Fight. In our main event, the TNF Championship will be on the line. And I actually have a special announcement that I'll be giving later on this evening, Paul. But for right now, Mitch is going to tag out and let Magnus Knox be legal.
You have a special announcement.
I have a very special announcement. And I saw you comment on my Facebook post. I didn't quite appreciate that.
Yeah, I was hoping that you were quitting. But that does not seem to be the case.
Well, BroHemoth in here as well, of course. Feeling out the odds a little bit in this matchup. Reading Rainbucks have shared the ring with Deathwatch before. I don't think that was a wise move by Magnus Knox at all, and now he's going to tee off with the Gigabyte Grizzly, that of course being BroHemoth.
Not the strategy that I would implement if you're Magnus Knox. Not somebody you would want to get into a brawling matchup with is the Gigabyte Grizzly.
Here's the strike being shown here by BroHemoth as he just drops Magnus Knox. Of course, we are coming off of MD Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5. I was not at that event, but you were, Paul, and what a hell of a showing it was. So many great 80 stars were there, including some of the members in this matchup. But a quick tag out to Dalton Lexicon.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite events for some reason, but in any event, Dalton Lexicon and Johnny Demise here, getting things going, whip into the corner.
Yeah, Johnny Demise charging it up in a big clothesline into the corner to Lexicon. And it feels like we're getting a more refreshed version of Deathwatch each and every single week we see them. The tag team work has been amazing as a basement clothesline gets delivered by Demise into the cover on Lexicon. And a quick kick out. This one only one. Johnny Demise taking full advantage of Lexicon, cutting off the ring, tagging in Sammy, Suntheimer. And although, again, these guys aren't uniquely a tag team, Deathwatch and Psychedelic Dreams have shared the ring before against one another. Sometimes bitter rivals, but tonight they are on the same page. And with Princess Amanda out here uniting them, who knows what they're capable of. And you're seeing that tag team work already by Sammy as he delivers a big senton there. Only a 2 count this time. And Sammy's charging it up. And here we go into the corner. Irish whip gets reversed. Scorpion roll up here by Suntheimer. Oh, what a super kick from Suntheimer. Lexicon gets rocked, falls right into the tag, and this might be, oh! Well, I don't think that's exactly what Intern Mitch was looking to draw up there. Yeah, Mitch, I think you may want to rethink what you were about to do. The ropes weren't exactly your friends, and now you're staring against a Psychedelic Prince. Oh, wait a minute. Poke to the eye by Mitch. It drops him with a DDT. Mitch now into a cover and only 2.
You got to hand it to Mitch there, Austin. That specific DDT there to Sammy Suntheimer, a 2-time tag team champion. Those are the types of moves that give him that generational prospect moniker.
Generational prospect? He literally tricked getting in the ring. Oh! Big kick there to the back of Suntheimer. I mean, who knows? Intern Mitch has been with Marco Narciso and Elijah Love. There may be some division within that, obviously coming off of the result from MP Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5. So Mitch, I guess, working with the Reading Rainbucks tonight. Learning a thing or two from another tag team here in 880 Wrestling. Oh my gosh! You can hear that chop all the way from the bottle rocket. Big Irish whip there by Lexicon. And I will say this, I've said this time and time again, Paul, I appreciate the respect that Magnus, Knox, and Dalton Lexicon has been showing each other as tag team partners in recent weeks. These two have been on the same page. They have not exactly found that win yet, that tag team win they've been looking for, but they have sure taken some of the best tag teams to the limit here on Thursday Night Fights.
Yeah, they've been making noise here in 880 Wrestling and beyond as well, starting to kind of make the towns, as it were. Sometimes in solo action, sometimes as a team. And again, here comes Mitch once again.
Yeah, notice everybody was able to capitalize except for Mitch, as Suntheimer delivers a big elbow there. Rolling to look for a cover, but Mitch actually stopping Suntheimer from making the tag. Doing a good job at dragging his opponent back to the corner as he tags in Lexicon, and oh God, he got the book. Tremendous
ring awareness by Mitch. Give him credit where it's due.
I think I want to give Lexicon more credit for working in this match with one hand technically, as he's holding the book in another. Suntheimer being forced into an English lesson here by Lexicon as he locks in that submission. Suntheimer, though, fights out of it, takes a shot at Mitch, and now one for Knox. And Sammy's going to need to make a tag at some point, but a big shotgun drop kick there by Suntheimer.
This could be the opening that Sammy Suntheimer needs. You see here on the replay, brought to you by Sidekick Media Services. Suntheimer up to the second rope, and again, just with that missile drop kick taking Lexicon down. Sammy desperately needs to make a tag to one of the members of Deathwatch.
And can he do it? And indeed he does, tagging in BroHemoth. Magnus Knox going to be leading for the Reading Rainbucks. And now everybody coming in and taking a shot. Mitch, you might want to just stay out there. That'd probably be best. BroHemoth, freshest competitor here in this matchup. Having his way right now with the reading Rainbucks. You see Demise in there as well for the extra assist. Look at this, bit of a tag team bro train this time. All over we go in the reading Rainbucks. Lackadaisical, and oh my gosh, and Lexicon sent in the Knox.
Oh, cannonball action there, and
uh-oh. Mitch perhaps was looking to put the ending mark on BroHemoth, and what a black hole slam. Cover by Bro, and Lexicon this time breaks it up.
Well, the point of an internship, Austin, is you have a lot to learn, and eventually Mitch will learn that you don't just charge full speed at BroHemoth when he's ready for you.
Yeah, definitely don't put that on the resume or on Indeed. Not going to be a good look for future employers. BroHemoth, though, kind of on a 3-on-1 assault right now. Just dropping Mitch. Now Magnus Knox. Reversing here, and look at Knox go. Not many people can pick up BroHemoth, but Magnus Knox, just that and a spear from Demise. Cutting Knox in half. But turn around, Johnny, because Dalton Lexicon is here. Nobody home, and down he goes. Chaos is breaking out right now. Suntheimer looking for a super kick. Instead, going to be on the receiving end from a forearm from Lexicon. In and round we go. Suntheimer goes low. And a big shining wizard. Now Mitch is all alone, Paul. Flatliner dropping Suntheimer.
Look at Mitch go.
Yeah, Mitch able to get some offense in finally. Suntheimer is down. I don't know what Mitch is loading up for. Oh, and a big snap German suplex there. Mitch is completely shook. And I feel like I've seen this before. Double choke slam. Down goes Mitch. Into the cover by Bro. And that's going to do it.
Here are your winners, the team of Sammy Suntheimer and Deathwatch.
What a win for Sammy Suntheimer and Deathwatch to start off the action here on Thursday Night Fight. As we take another look at the replay here, Mitch goes up and Mitch goes down, Paul. Poor Mitch.
A rare blemish on the record of Mitch as Deathwatch and Sammy Suntheimer get the win here on Thursday Night Fights.
Back to the drawing board we go for the reading Rainbucks and Mitch. I mean, maybe Mitch will learn a thing or two from that book. I don't know. We'll see. Party is on, though, for the Psychedelic Prince and Deathwatch.
I'm just glad we didn't have to listen to Mitch ring announce tonight. That was a treat in and of itself.
I agree with you on that, Paul. One of the rare times we'll agree. You know, Princess Amanda is happy to see her boys on top. Well, we pass things back over to Eamon Payton to get the action continuing on.
Folks, give it up one more time for Sammy Suntheimer and Deathwatch. Now I gotta ask, who here made it last week to MV Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5 here at the warehouse? What a freaking night that was. A lot of events went down, some of the most violent matches in 880 history, some shocking moments. But one of the big moments is that we crowned a new champion on that night. And I would like to welcome them to the ring at this time. Please welcome the new TNF champion, the Playboy, Elijah Love.
Well, if you tuned into MV Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5, you would know that a new TNF champion is upon us here at 880 Wrestling. And this is one of the most underrated stars that we have on the entire roster, finally achieving destiny, Paul.
Well, just about a month or so ago, Elijah Love aligned himself with Marco Narciso as part of the Champions in Training program. But last Friday at the barbecue, after Blizzy Blake took a Deathadil from the former TNF champion Marco Narciso, Elijah Love decided to accelerate that program by throwing Marco Narciso out of the ring and stealing the pin on Blizzy Blake for himself. Thus, Elijah Love stands before you and stands before me as the new TNF champion, still trying to work that part out. But I'm curious what Marco thinks about all this that went down.
See what Elijah thinks. The roses are out.
Thank you. Just very quickly for this celebration, I wanted to say that winning this championship, it means everything to me. And I've only dreamed for a moment like this to happen for me ever since I was a child, and now it's come true. But quickly, I wanted to add that this championship, this victory, isn't just about me. This victory is about every single person who's cheered me on, every single ounce of support I've gotten along the way, and to my younger self, who's only dreamed for a moment like this. So with that, everyone at home watching, everyone here in attendance, I just wanted to say that none of you will ever accomplish any of your dreams. I mean, seriously. I'm the playboy. I'm the prima diva. Nobody tells me what to do. This was inevitable. You see, Marco Narciso was too blinded by his own reflection, too stupid and naive to even realize that I was playing him the entire time. Unfortunately for him, it was too late, and I claimed my TNF Championship. But I will say, I can admit that I admire that he has someone in his corner that he trusts in Honey Darling. I do, I admire it. So tell me, Centaurian, can I trust you?
Wait a second here.
I mean, just not even the night before I won it all, you took it upon yourself to mention that I had something to do with Lizzie's name being drawn from the dish. You see, Hall, I've noticed that you've been getting a little bit too comfortable in your role. Let me just very quickly remind you what that role is, Hall. You are my bitch. You do what I say, when I say. You don't question me. You do your job and keep your mouth shut. Because let me remind you, Hall, I'm the reason that you have a job here. If it wasn't for me, no one would even think about who you were. So if you continue to give me the slightest bit of attitude, I will make sure you are sat in the back dry cleaning everyone's gear for minimum wage. You shut up! What? Do you have something to say, Hall?
You damn right I have something to say, Elijah!
Well, hold the phone here, Austin. We know this music, and it's of the former TNF champion.
Tensions are flaring here at the warehouse. Marco Narciso and intern Mitch is out here now. It seemed to be that turmoil was about to brew over between Elijah Love and Centaurian Hall. But before we can even hear what Centaurian Hall had to say, Marco Narciso making his presence known.
Austin, there is so much to unpack here.
I think there's going to be more in a second.
Elijah!
I see you've cozied up to my title real quickly that you stole last week. Yeah. You saw an opportunity, and you snatched my title right out from under my beak! And to be frank, I feel disrespected, humiliated, betrayed, deceived, and most of all, I am so proud of you! Oh my God! Be proud of so much.
What?
So you're not mad?
God, no. I mean, the way you completely set me up, orchestrated my downfall, and then came out here, dragged my name through the mud and spit on it, I would have done the exact same thing. Elijah, you've graduated champions in training with flying colors. Besides, I now have my eyes set on a much larger toy.
What does that mean?
Just make sure you hold on to that TNF title nice and tight.
Well, you heard it from Marco Narciso. Proud of Elijah Love. Apparently has his eyes set on a bigger prize.
Again, there's just so much to unpack here. So Marco Narciso appears to no longer be pursuing the TNF Championship and doesn't appear to be pursuing any sort of rematch with Elijah Love. There's clearly some tension between Elijah Love and Centurion Hall, to say the least. And why did Mitch need to be out here?
That's what I'm
Well,
wondering.
folks, you heard it from the current and former TNF champion, but now that is out of the way, who is ready for some more wrestling?
How do you follow that?
This next match is a fatal four-way match scheduled for one fall. And it is for the Hybrid Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
Big Hybrid Championship match on their way here at the warehouse. We had a big one at MV Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5. Not going to be quite as big, but it's still going to be big, Paul.
It should be a big one. So, yeah, MV Young mentioned last week having too many opponents for this championship.
Introducing first, challenger number one, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. He weighs in tonight at 390 pounds. He is that guy, Ethan Hunter.
This is that guy, Ethan Hunter, who is going to be the wild card here in this match, Paul. Hard to prepare from someone that you don't quite see too often, but honestly, this is the type of opponent that I would envision MV Young wanting.
Very few in the warehouse, I think, right now are aware of the game of Ethan Hunter. So they're in for a lesson right now.
This is a man right here who has been wanting an opportunity, and what bigger opportunity than against his coach.
Challenger number two, fighting out of East New York. This is the Smoke Seeker, Shotgun Adams.
Shotgun Adams continuing to look to find his footing here on Thursday Night Fights. We've seen him in tag team competition with Tatiana on numerous occasions, and we've also seen him successful and unsuccessful in singles competition. Tonight, though, big fatal four-way match for the hybrid title.
And the East New Yorker will look to bring the Hybrid Heavyweight Championship at least a little bit closer to Canada.
A little closer. Distance-wise. Now this superstar right here could be looking to add a second title to his mantle.
the CCAC Auxiliary Gymnasium and representing the Department of Jocks, he is 1/4 of the 880 Wrestling Tag Team Champions, wearing number 1 and standing at 6'7", Swayze.
Well, you heard Eamon Paul. He is 1/4 of the 880 Tag Team Champions. That is Mr. Dev Swayze. He's had a hybrid championship opportunity in the past, but tonight he has it here in fatal 4-way action. And Paul, he could very well be a double champion by the end of the night.
Yeah, last week at the barbecue, the Jocks turned away, I want to say 11 challengers in a gauntlet for the 880 Tag Team Championships, and now they're looking to add the hybrid heavyweight title to their ranks.
But at MV Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5, 6 opponents stood across the ring from this man, and he still walked away on top, still walked away your King of Pittsburgh. Can he do the same tonight?
Out of 829 Industry Street, a.k.a. The Warehouse, by way of the shop at 880 Dottie Block. He is Pittsburgh made, Pittsburgh paid, and internationally laid. He is the current reigning and defending hybrid heavyweight champion, the King of Pittsburgh, MD Young.
Paul, I don't know if it's the fact that the Pirates are in playoff contention or if MV just wants to kick some ass tonight. He looks ready to go.
Absolutely, he is ready to roll. Shout out to Jack Phantom, by the way, getting in on the photog action here at the Warehouse tonight.
Maybe you can update your Instagram profile pic. Just saying. But that is what it's all about, the hybrid heavyweight championship. MV Young has defended it on numerous occasions here at the Warehouse, has been successful in pretty much every single one of those matches. There was one where he did lose that hybrid title back, but he reclaimed it to become a 2-time champion. But I feel like, Paul, MV just wants more and more opponents now. I mean, we got 3 different opponents in there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't seem, honestly, pleased to a certain extent for how many challengers he had on Friday at his own barbecue. But he does technically have half as many tonight as he did on Friday. So we cut it in half.
Cut it in half. Right now, though, this is Ethan Hunter showing off against Shotgun Adams, and MV finally going to make his mark here in this match. And that's what I told you before, Paul. MV wants this kind of opponent.
Turning into a slugfest here early.
Hunter with vicious strikes, but Young has some of his own. Both men still on their feet. And no way in hell MV's going to hit a Pittsburgh clutch here. Oh my goodness, instead hits a suplex. Never questioned the King of Pittsburgh's strength, but Death Swayze with a big boot. Got Shotgun Adams now, taking out Swayze for the moment. Can't take your eye off Ethan Hunter, though, with a big clothesline. Dropping Shotgun. Pick your poison here. Anybody's game so far.
And, of course, a 4-way match like this, Austin, just breeds absolute chaos. It's not always about necessarily being truly dominant. It's more about picking your spot, being in the right place at the right time. And you see Ethan Hunter here working on Shotgun Adams, you know, basically, again, like turning this matchup into a de facto one-on-one. It's really your best bet in order to score a pinfall or submission victory. If you have someone in the ring, they'll try to break up pinfall attempts, they'll break up submission attempts. You need to isolate 2 of your opponents and then get the victory over the other.
Yeah, we saw MV doing a little bit of cat and mouse there as well, letting Ethan Hunter do all the work to take out Dev and Shotgun and then try and capitalize. But right now, Ethan Hunter just too big and too strong. Shotgun now going strike for strike here, but MV perched on the second rope into a big shotgun drop kick, dropping both Hunter and Shotgun.
I think MV might have also subtly adjusted one of the lights above the ring before doing that, so he's ever the professional, ever the businessman, is MV.
Nobody doesn't like the king of Pittsburgh. Wait a minute, though. Dev Swayze, 1/4 of the 880 Tag Team Champions, getting in on the fray now. Up in the air by MV and just dropped there into that extended suplex.
We'll see the 880 tag titles defended later on tonight. I imagine Dev Swayze will not be part of that match as part of the fraternity rule, since he's already in this.
Never know what Jocka could be. Oh, and look at Shotgun hitting a big DDT here. Hunter spiked on his head. Can Shotgun make the cover? Dev Swayze, though, has grown so much in the last year, immediately breaking up that cover. And now doing a sit-out chokeslam of his own. Cover by Dev. Oh, my goodness! Just squashing Dev as Hunter to break up that pinfall.
And again, I mentioned pinfall attempts will get broken up in a matchup like this, but that had the added element of being a little bit of a painful pinfall breakup.
Holy hell, look at the strength of MV Young! He just drops Ethan Hunter like he's nothing. But this time, Shotgun now, fireman's carry position. MV fighting out of it. Big right hand. Now Shotgun is up. And this isn't quite Kenny Ward, but MV Young with the Pittsburgh plunge. Cover on Shotgun. That's it.
Here is your winner, and still hybrid heavyweight champion, MV Young!
Without any doubt, MV Young walks away still your hybrid heavyweight champion as we take another look at the replay here from Sidekick Media Services. One big Pittsburgh plunge, and that is it for Shotgun Adams.
The Pittsburgh Pirates may be on the lookout for some relief pitching, maybe a new closer here with the upcoming trade deadline, but no question that the king of Pittsburgh is able to close these matches against many opponents.
How many opponents is it going to take to stop MV Young? Pass things back over to Eamon Payton to get us ready for our next contest.
Folks, give it up for all four competitors in that matchup. Give them a round of applause. I also will let everyone know here at the warehouse, since you guys are filling in, if you stay by the end of our main event tonight, a little bit afterwards, you get the chance to be an extra in a movie tonight. We need some bodies, we need some extras, and it's going to be a fantastic time. So after our main event TNF Championship match, stick around here in the warehouse. And it's encouraging for people at home who are watching on IndieWrestling.live and on YouTube. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, get down to the warehouse for Thursday Night Fights. It's the only way to enjoy it.
Ever been in a movie, Austin?
Now, who's ready for another championship match here tonight? This next match is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. And is for the 880 Wrestling Tag Team Championships.
Well, we just saw one member of the Department of Jocks in our previous match. But up next, the other two Jocks will be defending their tag team titles against one of the most creepy tag teams that we have here in 880.
Introducing first, the challengers. They can't really exist, either politically or socially. They are the team of the incredible They Hulk, Andey Ripley, and known the world over as Gay J Styles, Irving West. Together, they are C.R.E.E.P.S.
This is C.R.E.E.P.S. C.R.E.E.P.S looking to add possibly the first 880 tag team titles to their mantle if they can get a big win against the Department of Jocks. And you know what, Paul? I'm going to stand on what I said. This song is a banger.
Well, irrespective of that, the Department of Jocks turned away most of the 880 roster last week in a gauntlet match.
Their opponents.
But the Creeps were not part of that gauntlet match. They are not one of the teams that were defeated by the Department of Jocks last Friday. So we'll see how C.R.E.E.P.S now fares with a 2v2 opportunity.
Had plenty of time to study, plenty of time to watch some film. Goes on the road.
Making their way to the ring, fighting out of the CCAC Auxiliary Gymnasium, they are the current reigning and defending 880 Wrestling Tag Team Champions. First, wearing number 17, he is the man with the motion, the muscle, Micky Morris. His partner, wearing number 69, Big Jim Fridge. Together, they are the Department of Jocks.
Well, you can see that the energy is there for Department of Jocks. Big Jim Fridge nearly ran down the damn road, but making his way back into the ring. Another big title defense for the muscle Micky Morris. And of course, Big Jim Fridge.
They certainly were victorious, as I mentioned, in that gauntlet match, though. No, Austin, I will say they were very conveniently the last team to enter in that match. So, I mean, you talk about champion's advantage, it was especially on display in that gauntlet.
Is this another one of your theories now, Paul?
I don't know. We've already had one rigged lottery in 880 Wrestling in the last couple months, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing that I will never take away from the Department of Jocks is they have been fighting champions. They have been leaving everything out on the line every time they step foot in that ring, whether it's for the titles or not. And whether it's Dev and Fridge, Micky and Dev, Fridge and Micky, whatever pairing, even Chug, whatever pairing of Department of Jocks we get, we see the best side of them. And here we go, 880 Tag Team Championship match will now begin. Big Jim Fridge starting things off with Irving West.
I think you honestly kind of said it, Austin. The Jocks have been extremely fighting champions, but again, with this fraternity rule, like it's easy to be a fighting champion when you can rotate between 4 different guys to defend the tag team championships. I mean, we've had teams like Psychedelic Dreams, Leaders by Example, that when they were fighting champions, they had only 2 guys that were able to defend those titles. So, you know, it's easy whenever you can, you know, give somebody a night off every now and then.
I mean, I wouldn't say exactly a night off. I mean, let's not forget, Dev Swayze was in action before for the hybrid title, and it gives other opportunities for the members of the Department of Jocks. Look at Micky Morris. Look at the growth that we have seen from him over the last few months as well. Why wouldn't you want to share some of that spotlight with your fellow Jocks? It's just unselfishness, and that's what the Department of Jocks is all about. But Big Jim Fridge might be in his head a little bit. Creeps are messing with him on the outside. Andey Ripley taking a few cheap shots here.
I don't know, Austin. Some would argue it's cheating.
Cheating?
4 people being able to defend the tag team championships?
Well, it's not like they're all in the same match, Paul. It's still a 2-on-2. It's still a tag team match. Well, here is Micky Morris. Once a pledge, now a full jock. But there's no denying the growth that we have seen of Micky Morris in recent months. Little extra assist here from Big Jim Fridge into that suplex. Covered out by Morris. Hooks the leg at only 2. Micky Morris has shared the ring with the likes of MV Young in recent memory. We saw him in action at MV Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5 as well. So Micky Morris has been getting the matches under his belt, getting that experience, and learning from his fellow Department of Jocks has certainly improved in the rankings here in 880 Wrestling. And of course, you can always go back and check out MV Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5 on indiewrestling.us. It is now streaming on YouTube. So don't forget to go check out that event if you haven't already. Look at Micky Morris, just ever so electric. Big clothesline there into the corner. Irving West not in good ways now. Cover on West, hooking the leg again in only 2. Got to give Department of Jocks credit here, Paul. They've been staying on top of Irving West. We have not even seen Andey Ripley in this match yet.
I certainly take nothing away from the talent of the Department of Jocks. possess the growth they've had in 2026 here in 880 wrestling?
Well, I think I'm going to take back what I said. We haven't seen Andey Ripley legally in this match yet. Andey Ripley has definitely been making their presence known on the outside. But here's that fighting spirit again, showing from Morris, and Irving West just going to have to release the hold. Morris falls back, quick cover, only a kick out at 1. Another cover from West. Maybe third time's a charm, and again a kick out.
Sending a message there to Morris with those 3 straight covers.
Yeah, C.R.E.E.P.S and DOJ has shared the ring before, so these tag teams will know each other very, very well. C.R.E.E.P.S was not successful in the last encounter with the Jocks. But right now, Andey Ripley, first time we are seeing them in this match. Look at the strength. Hoisting up Morris. Just walking around, and right on the knee goes Morris. Adding more pain by going into a choke now of sorts. Morris slide out. Ripley not relieving pressure now, finally does. Cover on Morris for the titles in only 2.
Look at the incredible They-Hulk being just in complete control of Micky Morris here since they entered this matchup.
Another tag now into Irving West. This is that tag team work that we have seen in the past. Dropping both legs of Morris, knee first, buckling on the impact. Now works on the arms, and that's exactly what C.R.E.E.P.S does, is picking apart limb from limb. Morris gonna feel it now, cover in only 2.
Very methodical strategy by C.R.E.E.P.S. Some of it is, again, just tag team 101. Cut the ring in half, keep the action isolated to your half of the ring so that you can make frequent tags.
Yeah, that fisherman suplex bridging into the cover again, only 2. And at this point, they're doing a great job. I mean, Big Jim Fridge, ever so electric. He wants to get into this match badly. Morris is punished right now, certainly in pain, and C.R.E.E.P.S continuing to inflict more damage and more punishment.
Yeah, and these frequent tags ensure that C.R.E.E.P.S always has a fresh member ready to get into the action. And at this point, the muscle, Micky Morris, is anything but fresh.
Yeah, look at this, shot for shot. C.R.E.E.P.S are not giving up on Micky Morris one bit. And Morris is gonna have to crawl to the corner. Irving West just stalking Micky Morris as he begins to try and slowly pull him away, far, far away from his corner. Morris relieves the pressure, big kick, and makes, oh, wait a minute. Looking to make the tag, but Andey Ripley pulled Big Jim Fridge off the apron.
Tremendous ring awareness there by Andey Ripley. Innovative in the way that they cut off Big Jim Fridge from being able to make that tag that Micky Morris so desperately needed to make.
Yeah, Micky Morris was just centimeters away from making the tag, fingertips away, but Andey Ripley was able to pull him off the apron. And now again, back to the tag team work on Morris.
Micky's in trouble here, Austin. Well, he was.
They got a sudden burst of energy, though, was able to take a quick forearm strike, and now Morris makes the tag. Here comes Big Jim Fridge.
Well, commentator's curse, as our colleague Toddy Tondera would say.
Big Jim Fridge is just fired up right now. Big Irish whip into the corner to Irving West. As gets dropped in. Never too late for a quick workout. Look at this, clapping push-ups. Tag back into Morris. Confidence certainly showing from DOJ. They eliminate Andey Ripley from the equation. Now left all alone with Irving West. Look at this. Wow. Innovative submission, Paul.
It's a tandem submission. I can't imagine it's
That's
technically.
That's it. Wow.
Here are your winners, and still 880 Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Department of Jocks.
You look a little stunned there, Paul.
I'm not sure why they were allowed to do that. 2 guys holding a submission hold at one time. Shouldn't one of them have been out of the ring?
Well, I mean, either way, the tap has been made official. Irving West tapped out here. And look at this. The party is Not alone, we see Aleo Dreams out here. Sammy Suntheimer celebrating as well. Actually, I don't think Aleo's celebrating. I think Aleo's kind of pissed off. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell, Aleo? Sammy was coming out here to celebrate with Department of Jocks, and Aleo pretty much said, no, get the hell backstage. What was that all about? Well, that's neither here nor there. Department of Jocks successful yet again in defending their 880 Tag Team Championship. C.R.E.E.P.S did a great job at picking apart Micky Morris throughout the remainder of this match, but in the end, Big Jim Fridge, Micky Morris, Swayze, DOJ on top.
Folks, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here tonight in the warehouse, I want to let you all know that there are more opportunities this weekend to get to see 880 wrestling action, and you're going to want to be a part of it. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. over in Bluefield, we are going to be at BroHemoth for a no-ring wrestling event. You're going to want to be there. That is at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Then the day after that, we are going to be in Bellevue at 202 Hometown Tacos, presenting Salsa Slam. Tickets are on sale for that, and the event will start at 3 p.m. over in Bellevue. And then I also will mention that this Sunday, you can also visit Taco Mania from our friends over at Enjoy Wrestling over in the South Side. It's going to be a great weekend of professional wrestling, and we hope you guys are all a part of it in some form or fashion. This next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall.
Singles match about to begin as we regroup after that 880 Tag Team title defense. You see the Tron, you see Dead Hand Society is lingering around. The Dark Cloud has just hit 880 Wrestling.
Introducing first, being accompanied to the ring by the trigger finger of the Dead Hand Society, Wilde, fighting out of Asgard. This is the Viking Rover, Gunnar Bergmann!
This is the Viking Rover, Gunnar Bergmann, not alone with the Black Sheep, Wilde, the leader of the Dead Hand Society. Gunnar has certainly been standing out on the 880 roster, and has been certainly standing out in the Dead Hand Society, which is why Wilde is out here all alone with Gunnar. What do you make of Gunnar recently, Paul?
Gunnar has been on a roll, and Gunnar has a big opportunity coming up this weekend that I can't wait to talk to you about.
Oh, great.
But we have a, I think, tremendous matchup here coming up in singles action, and possibly
his opponent.
A lengthy story here, you could say, at 880 Wrestling, maybe coming to a bit of an end here tonight.
A lengthy story that we will break down throughout the duration of this match.
Making his way to the ring, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, this is the Eraser, Remy LeVay!
Through a bunch of turmoil, through a bunch of backstage assaults, even in-ring assaults, Remy LeVay is no longer a part of the Dead Hand Society. Once an 880 champion, remains the Eraser. Gunnar Bergmann looks to finally get rid of the stain from the Dead Hand Society, but Remy LeVay not letting up.
Yeah, to say that Remy LeVay is not part of the Dead Hand Society might be the understatement of the night. On now 2 occasions, Dead Hand Society thought they ended the career of Remy LeVay. Remy LeVay has kind of continued to return to be a thorn in the side of Wilde and DHS.
And you see Gunnar Bergmann working immediately on Remy LeVay. This is going to be a fast-paced match, Paul. Neither one of these two are going to give up on each other. And a big drop kick there from LeVay. Gunnar still on his feet. And you can only imagine how ticked off Wilde is being out here in the same building, the same vicinity as Remy LeVay.
Remy LeVay has been very vocal.
Oh my God!
He wants Wilde one-on-one after what Wilde did to shorten Remy's career. But tonight, Wilde does what Wilde does best, and that's send a member of the Dead Hand Society to just do the job for them.
And this is probably the best member that you could send. Like you said, Gunnar Bergmann is on an absolute roll. There's still so much to prove, he feels like, in 880 wrestling. I caught up with Gunnar a couple weeks back, and he said that he wants to prove himself the next while. But look at this. Wanting Remy LeVay all for himself. Usually we see the Dead Hand Society get involved on the outside, but Gunnar pulled LeVay away from Nick's Wilde.
Well, again, Gunnar's really got something to prove here. If he can put Remy LeVay on the shelf permanently, something that DHS has not been able to do yet, just imagine how much more in favor with the Dead Hand Society Gunnar would be.
It's a great point you bring up, Paul. As Gunnar Bergmann again hoisting Remy LeVay into that sidewalk slam. Right on his back, into the cover, hooking the leg, and that was close, but only 2. And again, not just putting away Remy LeVay for good. This is a former 880 champion that we're talking about here in Remy LeVay as well. That could mean so much more for Gunnar Bergmann's career in the future. Possibly championship implications, moving up the card, moving up the rankings. There's so much at stake here for the Viking Rover.
And you mentioned Gunnar Bergmann and championships, and we know that this Saturday at 202 Hometown Tacos in Bellevue at Salsa Slam, Gunnar Bergmann will challenge KC Warr for the 880 Hardcore Championship. I'm sure you're going to be fair and balanced for that one.
Well, of course. Got to provide the best commentary they can bring possible to the table, Paul. But it is a big opportunity for Gunnar Bergmann against KC Warr, who, of course, is coming off of absolute mayhem against Gory at MVM's Big Ass Barbecue 5. You can check out the replay there at indiewrestling.us, now on YouTube, streaming everywhere.
My goodness, the entire ring shook on that Irish whip from Gunnar Bergmann to Remy LeVay, and Gunnar is in full control, and again, to his credit, has pretty much been doing it himself. Nick's Wilde has not been a factor on the outside.
Yeah, which is interesting because typically when we see Dead Hand Society matches, I mean, the theme remains common. Dead Hand Society members linger around the ring. They get involved whenever. Sometimes they spoil the results of matches. But so far in this matchup, Gunnar Bergmann wants to do this all by himself, even with Nick's Wilde out here.
Well, Nick's Wilde, I guess, doesn't have to be physically involved in the match to be a factor. We know that it is Nick's Wilde who Remy specifically wants to get his hands on. And there's definitely a certain element to, the person that you're, trying to get your hands on just being basically feet away from you and nothing you can do about it. There's a mind games element to that, I would suppose.
And Gunnar seems to be fed up right now. He's just taking out all his frustration and anger on Remy LeVay as Nick's Wilde watches proudly on. Cover again in only 2. And I say proudly, but I know deep down inside Nick's Wilde wants to get in there and get a piece of Remy LeVay themselves. Yeah, imagine the conditioning right now with LeVay as Gunnar Bergmann with a big clothesline. Another cover from the Viking Rover. Will this do it? And no, only 2.
You mentioned Remy LeVay, Austin, being a former 880 champion, and Remy has been very candid about saying that getting ejected from the Dead Hand Society in the way that he did, it reawoke something in Remy. It changed Remy as a person, and the Remy that we see right now is maybe more reminiscent of that same Remy that led the Black Hand Society, the one who was the former 880 champion. So if Remy LeVay could, finally get the Dead Hand Society off of his back, what's the future hold for him?
Another backhole slam there from Gunnar, and only 2. And you bring up great points, Paul. So much at stake here in this match. I mean, we've been telling the story for months now. What is going to happen between Remy LeVay? What is going to happen with Nick's Wilde? But I mean, Nick's Wilde is up on the apron. This is some division that is very interesting between these two. If I'm Nick's Wilde, I would tell Gunnar Bergmann to go at Remy LeVay in that situation, but again, maybe distracting. Oh.
Well, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Dead Hand Society is very much a what have you done for me lately business. So just as we're talking about how Gunnar could fall in favor of Nick's Wilde by erasing the eraser here.
I see what he did there.
I don't know what the future holds for Gunnar in Dead Hand Society if he can't do the job.
Oh, look at this, a sling blade here made famous by the Dead Hand Society. We see Nick's Wilde utilize that as well within their arsenal. What a somber ending this would be if LeVay puts Gunnar away like that and no, only 2.
Getting very close to putting Gunnar away there with that sling blade. Again, you see Nick's Wilde trying to get Gunnar back into this matchup. Trying to wake him up by slapping the surface of the ring. Now Remy LeVay pulling out all the stops here.
Nick's Wilde finally getting their hands on LeVay for the moment. Allows for the distraction. Choke slam off the second rope. All the ways across the ring, and LeVay might be out.
That's it, Austin.
Yeah, Gunnar Bergmann into the cover, but wait. Gunnar Bergmann giving up on the count. Pulls up Remy LeVay. Nick's Wilde now up on the apron.
Gunnar Bergmann decided to effectively forego the biggest win of his career.
Yeah,
now.
Oh, wait a minute. Ducking under Nick's Wilde, nobody humming. Oh my goodness, Gunnar Bergmann ran into Nick's. LeVay now, cover on Gunnar, that's it. That's it, Paul.
Here is your winner, Remy LeVay.
Paul, I think you said it best there. That would have been the biggest win of Gunnar Bergmann's career if he just would have kept the cover on Remy LeVay, but giving up there, Remy was able to capitalize and walk away with the win.
Well, inadvertently give the credit to Nick's Wilde as well to a certain point. Up there on the apron, a confrontation between Gunnar Bergmann and Nick's Wilde, and then a malfunction at the junction where those two collided, and Remy LeVay able to capitalize with a roll-up victory.
And it seems to be there is friction within the Dead End Society. Gunnar Bergmann staring down Nick's Wilde. I mean, let's take another look at this replay. This is how things ended. You see Gunnar running into Nick's Wilde there. LeVay was able to roll up Gunnar. And that was it. LeVay walks out of here, and Gunnar walking out on Nick's Wilde. Very interesting sequence of events.
What does this mean for the Dead Hand Society for tonight and beyond?
So many more questions to be answered.
Now, folks, before we continue on with more great action here tonight, we want to give some thank yous to the folks here at 880 Wrestling, the unsung heroes of this company that make this show happen each and every Thursday and do fantastic work and really are underappreciated and undersung because they're in the back, not as front-facing to all of you. So we want to give them a round of applause. First, our sponsors for this evening. Give it up to La Spada Contracting and Landscaping. Visit them for your home renovation needs. You can also go to Arnold Glass and Vape right outside of New Kensington. Shout out to TR and the great folks over there at Arnold Glass and Vape. Also our sponsor, Three Floyds Brewing, a great local Pittsburgh company providing great brews. If you want to be a sponsor for 880 Wrestling, be sure to send us an email at 880wrestling@gmail.com, and we would love to have you be a part of the family as well. I want to shout out over on the far side, Sidekick Media Services. Give it up for SOAR. Give it up for our amazing camera people who broadcast us each and every Thursday on IndieWrestling.live and on YouTube. I also want to shout out over on sound. Give it up for the emotional support twin, none other than Lane Alexander. Fantastic job as always. Our lighting crew that makes things look so good. Zane and Aaron, the entire Woods family, they do a fantastic job. We also have a bunch of camera people here tonight taking photographs. Give it up for the camera folks. They capture the action fantastically as well. I want to shout out over on commentary for this evening. We have none other than the one and only professional, Paul Michael. There he is. Give it up for Paul. And of course, how can I forget about Pittsburgh's favorite jagoff, none other than Austin Cairns. I want to shout out our referees as well for this evening, Tony Leo, Scotty Davidson. They've been doing a great job calling the action all night long. And last but not least, my name is Eamon Payton. Thank you all so much for allowing me to host as well each and every Thursday. I mentioned him just now, but I want to keep it going because we have a big announcement and it's been teased all over social media, so I want to hear about this. So bring to the ring at this time, give a round of applause for Pittsburgh's favorite jagoff, Austin Cairns!
Major announcement that Austin teased on social media.
Thank you so much,
earlier in the
Eamon. Give it
night.
up one more time for Eamon. Does so good each and every single week. For once I'm in this ring and I actually don't have a guest. For once I really don't have anything too crazy to talk about with the stars in the back, but I do have a huge announcement to make. Now I don't exactly know why they chose one of the commentators to do this, but 880 management has spoken. And coming up next week, we are going to debut a brand new thing here at 880 Wrestling. Do you guys want to hear it? Yeah! Starting tomorrow, 16 teams will be formed in what is going to be called Lethal Lottery. And Lethal Lottery is quite simple. 16 teams will be randomly put together. Not your favorite teams that you were used to seeing. Sometimes this may be a first team. Maybe some teams will get lucky and they'll beat with their partners, but the odds are certainly stacked against them. Those 16 teams will then compete in a single elimination tournament where they would then go on to eventually face each other in a one-on-one match. And the winner of that singles match will get a guaranteed championship opportunity of their choosing at the World Series. Last year we did it with the home run tournament and it was an incredible success. This year we're looking to shake things up. We are looking to shake up the roster here at 880 Wrestling. So my advice to the locker room, my advice to every single star that is watching in the back, good luck, get together with your team, and get ready for Lethal Lottery! Love you too.
Give it up one more time for Austin Cairns, everybody. And like he said, next week it begins Lethal Lottery here on Thursday Night Fights. You're going to want to be here each and every Thursday. And speaking of tag teams, if I look at my schedule here, is anyone ready for some more wrestling? This next match is a tag team match scheduled for one fall.
I'm back, Paul.
Welcome back. What an announcement that was. The Lethal Lottery is coming to 880 Wrestling.
Making their way to the ring first, from a galaxy far, far away, they're the team of the Intergalactic Ace, Little Big Ultras, Los Tonios. His partner is the Fireman, Luca. Together, they are most dope mass aliens, MDMA.
It is now announced that Lethal Lottery will begin next week on Thursday Night Fights. Random teams will be paired, but tonight we're going to see a team
And
that has been
their
together
opponents.
for quite some time now here in 880 in the form of MDMA. And speaking of tag teams of 880 Wrestling, it's hard to talk about tag team wrestling without mentioning the fourth line.
Making their way to the ring, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, they're the team of the 880 Wrestling Hardcore Champion, the Muay Thai Maniac, the Shoot Psychopath, K.C. Warr. His partner is the 880 Wrestling Champion, the Gunnar Phenomenon, Satan's favorite saint, Brandon St. James. Together, they are the fourth line!
The fourth line is known as one of the most decorated tag teams here in 880 Wrestling. Two-time 880 tag team champions, but right now, if you notice, Paul, they are both singles champions here in 880 Wrestling. BSJ, of course, is at top of the division as your 880 champion. Casey Warr is your hardcore champion, and both of them are coming off of hard-fought battles at MVO's Big Ass Barbecue 5. We'll break down that and so much more in this matchup. But what an opportunity for MDMA.
Yeah, both Brandon St. James and KC Warr have been flirting with the singles ranks for most, if not all, of 2026. We know this Sunday at Enjoy Wrestling presents Taco Mania, they'll have a tag team opportunity against the Enjoy Tag Team Champions, TME. So what better way to get back in that tag team synergy mindset than right here at the warehouse on TNF?
It's been a minute since we have seen Fourth Line team up as a tag team. Like we mentioned before, they've been focusing purely on singles action, and they've been doing a damn good job at it. Of course, 2 singles champions here. Little rock, paper, scissors action to get us started here. Oh, but wait a minute! MDMA, this match has been started. I was actually going to point this out to you, Paul. We've seen a little bit of aggression from MDMA recently on our happy hour on our Patreon, and even some glimpses of it throughout Thursday night fights, but they're catching the gun here early, trying to take Fourth Line out.
And certainly you're in action against the 880 champion and the 880 hardcore champion, so I understand maybe wanting to get the jump on your opponent, a little bit of extra mind games, maybe a little head start, as it were, but it appears to be short-lived as KC Warr taking early control over Los Tonios.
KC Warr, series of strikes there into the senton, only a 2 count for the hardcore champion. You know that KC Warr is certainly feeling the pain after coming off of one hell of a battle against Gory. I know this is a match that KC Warr wanted for so long, and he showed up and showed out in that match. I saw that he had tacks in his head.
Yeah, I'm very interested, I should say, to hear your thoughts on the overall behavior of KC Warr in that particular matchup. I mean, basically brutalizing Gory to the point of a referee stoppage in that matchup, and Gory needed to be carried out of here by officials. And, that seems like some interesting behavior from your friend.
I'll definitely respond to that. BSJ goes into the cover only 2. I mean, I'm going to quote you from the barbecue show, Paul. You said that Gory was synonymous with hardcore wrestling, and sometimes you got to switch into that different gear. Sometimes you got to go into that different mindset. We've seen both KC Warr and Brandon St. James do that on numerous occasions. That's why they're at top of the division right now. That is why they are both champions here at 880 Wrestling. And we saw MDMA jump the gun here early in this match. Maybe they're trying to go into that second gear too. You got to show a little aggression from time to time, Paul.
You certainly do. And now MDMA. Look at this action here.
Yeah, the tag team work is on point. Standing moonsault there from Luca. Cover on the champion and only 2. And not only what a win this would be for their tag team careers, but you got to imagine if one member of MDMA pins one of these champions, that might give them a future title shot, perhaps, against that respected champion.
I mean, certainly nothing's off limits here, and we're talking about an established tag team in MDMA. But Austin, I'm still reeling from that announcement that the Lethal Lottery is coming to 880 Wrestling. I mean, MDMA, we're talking about what they can do in the tag team ranks and teaming together, but their names could get drawn in that lottery, and they could not be teaming together in that tournament.
Indeed, it could be very well up for grabs. I mean, like, anybody in 880 Wrestling can be selected to the Lethal Lottery. I mean, it doesn't just go beyond wrestlers. I mean, we could be in it, Paul.
What do you mean?
I mean, me and you could possibly be a tag team. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not right.
Well, look at KC
That's
Warr.
not right, is it?
I don't know if it's right or not, but KC Warr has a cross arm breaker locked in right now on Luca. Luca rolls it into a cover and only 2. But yeah, Paul, it could literally be anybody. Oh my God, what a clothesline from Warr.
I feel like I feel like I want to go check. Can I? What do I do?
I mean, I can call the rest of the match if you need to.
I don't want to be in the tournament.
Covered out by Warr on Luca and only 2. We have seen KC Warr tune up a new set of violence within his arsenal. I would say it all began against Sammy Suntheimer a few months back. Of course, we saw that against Gory, a completely shifted gear and a big double jump across the chest to Luca. You can hear that one ring out throughout the warehouse. And how about Brandon St. James, Paul? Another steel cage match and another successful title defense BSJ now has under his belt against Jamie Jamison, the Hammer Lord. And I know Jamie pretty well, Paul. That is one tough task to have at hand, and BSJ hung in there just fine. Lots of blood was poured, but in the end, the result remained the same.
Again, Brandon had to overcome a bit of a numbers game as well in order to retain that championship. Look at this.
A big cross body there from Los Tonios. I see you guys were introduced to Xander Gabriel. Of course, making his presence known at MB Young's Big Ass Barbecue 5. And now some tag team chemistry here. Assisted Salida del Sol by Los Tonios and Luca. Casey Warr being turned around. Don't take your eyes off the champion though. BSJ getting cut off here in a big double bulldog. The champs are rocked right now.
You talked about the newfound aggression of MDMA, and it certainly cannot hurt their careers at this point. I mean, they're one of the most popular teams in 880 wrestling.
Indeed they are. You saw Casey Warr pull out El Luca. Tonios was going for that Hurricanrana. BSJ though with the strength into the buckle bomb, assisted with the step up enziguri by Warr.
The fourth line don't appear to have lost a step as a team. As much synergy as ever.
Big Psycho knee into the brain buster goes Tonios. BSJ into the cover. Oh wait, that was close. Only a 2 count though from our official. Match will continue on.
Yeah, I feel like Brandon might agree that was a 3 count, but as you mentioned, the match will continue on.
We've seen this on numerous occasions as 1 to 4th line. Multiple tag titles in the past, looking for that double minor, avoiding possible disaster. Tonios rolling around and tagging made by El Luca. El Luca looking to learn a thing or two from his father. Big whisper in the wind, taking out the 4th line. Covered by Luca on the hardcore champion in only 2.
And something else, Austin, I want to bring up from maybe earlier in the night. We heard from the former TNF champion, Marco Narciso. And Marco Narciso said something very interesting to Elijah Love that I want to kind of reiterate here. Marco mentioned having his eyes on a bigger prize. Could he possibly be targeting one of the championships held by one of the 4th line members?
You very well could. That's a good point you bring up. Tyron Rossi feels so scrambled right now, and another chop across the chest. And you know that locker room is certainly feeling a certain way right now with the lethal lottery. Again, they could be randomly put with anybody. I mean, hell, we could see Casey Warr and El Luca as a team. Oh my goodness.
Well, first of all, please stop saying anybody. It's really bothering me when you use that word.
Oh, look at Brandon locking in a submission. Casey Warr has the crossface in. Sleeper hold applied as well. MDMA is both fading, and they're fading quickly. You see Tonios fighting out of the 880 champion, scooping him up, and a big power slam on the Casey Warr to break up the submission.
I mean, if it's truly anybody, I mean, what if something ridiculous happens where, like, Brandon St. James and Casey Warr get to team together in the lottery? Like, I guess that could happen. Yeah, what if an established tag team does get drawn together? Like, I would imagine they would have some kind of advantage.
I would agree with you with that on Paul, and the chances are going to be so slim. But who knows? It's lethal lottery. Anything can happen. Anybody could be a tag team. But it's all for one big opportunity for any championship of the winner's choice. That winning tag team, of course, will face each other in singles competition to fight a champion if they're choosing at the World Series. But here's the tag team. Hurricanrana into the cutter. Casey Warr is dropped. Can MDMA score the victory? And BSJ breaks it up. Brandon St. James and Casey Warr have both done a great job throughout this match at protecting their partners from possible pinfalls, possible disasters. That is why they are both atop of 880 wrestling right now. But I got to give it to El Luca and Los Tonios for hanging in there with the champs and coming up with unique offense. But oh, wait a minute. Tonios with what appears to be missed. Sprayed into the eyes of El Luca. Obviously, that was not supposed to happen. Forearm strike into a big right hand. Tonios gets dropped. El Luca is still blinded.
Tonios missed it his own son.
That's going to be talked about at dinner later in a big double minor. El Luca is out cold, covered by Casey Warr, and 4th line remains on top.
Here are your winners, the 4th line.
No, didn't miss a beat. 4th line with another victory here in tag team competition as they take another look at the double minor that put El Luca and MDMA away for good. What a hell of a match call.
Those singles championships that they earned here toward the beginning of 2026 and have both defended valiantly.
they have Casey Warr still celebrating off that big hardcore title defense. BSJ still celebrating off his respected title defense. But with Lethal Lottery now around the corner taking place next week, the champs are going to have extra eyes in the back of their head. Who knows if they're going to be in it? Who knows if they will be selected? And who knows if their titles will be up for grabs when it's all said and done?
Hope you get teamed with Mitch.
Hell no. Absolutely not. Celebration is on. The beers will be cracked open later.
And they'll face the Enjoy Tag Team Champions TME this Sunday at Taco Mania.
Just a reminder, folks, to stick around here at the warehouse past our main event. We're filming a movie and we need extras, so if you want to be in a movie, stay tight after our main event. And speaking of that, who's ready for our main event of the evening? This match is scheduled for one fall. And is for the TNF Championship.
Main event time here at the warehouse. We saw a big return recently, and it may pay off here on Thursday Night Fight. It's going to be a hell of an opportunity, Paul. Paris recently made her return. Obviously, there was a bit of turmoil in the ring between Takia Mercer and our broadcast colleague, Eamon Payton. It was proud to see Eamon Payton standing up for what is right against Takia Mercer. And just before things got ugly, Paris made her return and seemingly closed the chapter with Takia Mercer. Now looking on to bigger and better things, and that just so happens to be the TNF Championship.
Yeah, Zakia put Paris Sahara on the shelf for nearly 9 months, but now with Zakia in the rear view mirror, Paris Sahara is back in 880 wrestling and looking to capture the neon gold.
Biggest singles opportunity in the career of Paris Sahara here at 880 Wrestling. But it is a tough task at hand for not just the challenger, but also the champion. Elijah Love is your TNF champion, making his first title defense here tonight against Paris Sahara. Elijah Love captured that neon gold in triple threat action against Marco Narciso and Lizzie Blake. We heard earlier tonight that Marco Narciso is looking on to bigger and better things, which means Elijah Love gets to proudly hold that neon gold. But less than a week away, Elijah Love could very well lose that title to Paris Sahara.
And possibly another bit of a headline here. Elijah Love still being accompanied to the ring by the man-eater Centurion Hall, despite the fact that earlier tonight Elijah Love had some extremely pointed comments at Centurion that I'm personally not going to repeat what he referred to Centurion as.
Certainly agrees there. So the numbers game is still in the favor of Elijah Love, depending on what Centurion Hall decides to do here. We're going to pass things over to Eamon Payton, though, to get us ready for our in-ring championship introductions.
Your referee for this contest, Scotty Davidson. Introducing first, to my right, the challenger, making her return to Thursday Night Fights. Fighting out of the City of Angels, this is the Melanated Star Seed, Paris Sahara! And her opponent, to my left, accompanied to the ring by Centurion Hall, he is the current reigning and defending TNF champion from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Playboy, Elijah Love!
big-time championship match here on Thursday Night Fights. Of course, your official for this contest is Scotty Lefty Davidson, and he is going to be in for a wild one as Paris Sahara makes her Thursday Night Fights return, and Elijah Love makes his first TNF Championship defense.
How long it's been since we've seen Paris in action on Thursday Night Fights. Again, just 6 nights ago at the barbecue. Replay available right now on indiewrestling.us. Elijah Love achieved his dream, those were his words, becoming a champion in professional wrestling, more specifically the TNF Championship. Also told all the folks here they would never achieve their dreams. You might as well drop out of grad school.
Well, thanks for lightening up the mood here, Paul. But yeah, Elijah Love had everybody fooled earlier this evening. You heard the "You Deserve It" chants. The 880 faithful were giving in to Elijah Love finally, and just as they were about to, Elijah Love said, "I do not need your support. Your dreams will not come true, but mine damn sure did." And indeed they did, but those dreams could be short-lived because Paris Sahara is so unpredictable. We didn't expect her to return to 880 wrestling. We didn't expect to finally put Zakiya Mercer in the rear-view mirror, so Paris Sahara could very well easily walk away as TNF champion tonight.
Paris Sahara now 2-0 against Zakiya Mercer. Since the breaking up of the matriarchy, her singles career, she's done very well in singles action, though again kind of had that 9-month layoff due to that injury at the hands of Mercer.
Yeah, I remember when I joined 880 Wrestling, Paul, the matriarchy was on top of the tag team division. Paris Sahara and Zakiya Mercer were the 880 tag team champions, and they had a dominant run. And look at Elijah Love just spinning around and dropping Paris. But in that same time frame, Elijah Love was still trying to prove himself, still coming on the uprise in 880 Wrestling. And there has been so much growth in the career of the Playboy. I would argue it all started at the Penn Brewery when he dropped that amazing moonsault on the outside. It did amazing on social media. It was shared everywhere, and it really propelled Elijah Love to getting on the main card, getting more and more opportunities, stepping outside of his comfort zone, and now look at this. He is the TNF champion.
And Austin, pro wrestling is a very here and now business, and back in November of last year, Paris was one of the biggest and brightest stars. We were looking to break out in 880 wrestling. But then after being on the shelf for 9 months, Elijah Love, one of those people who really stepped up, who was extremely impressive through victories on Thursday Night Fights, victories at the major monthly shows. And you could argue that Elijah Love has kind of leapfrogged Paris Sahara in the pecking order here in 880 wrestling, due to that injury that she had at the hands of Mercer.
And this is where things get so hard to dissect as well, because again, Paris Sahara is just making her return. This is only her second match back in months. Elijah Love is only making his first title defense. So Paul, I'm going to ask you the question that everyone's been wondering is who has the advantage in this championship match?
Well, again, you'd like to think that Elijah Love as the champion would have a bit of an advantage. Again, Elijah Love's been here week in and week out for those 9 months that Paris Sahara wasn't here. But at the same time, there does not appear to be any ring rust, as it pertains to Paris. I mean, she defeated Zakiya Mercer for the second straight time, and, very well, hard to argue, didn't earn this championship match based on her performance on Friday. So, I mean, look out. And Centurion Hall is a bit of a wild card here. I mean, she's there, but I don't know that her heart's truly in it as far as preserving the championship reign of Elijah Love based on those pointed comments from earlier in the night.
Yeah, Elijah Love certainly belittled Centurion Hall earlier this evening. Of course, before we could actually hear what Centurion Hall had to say, that's when Marco Narciso and intern Mitch made their way to the ring to say how proud Marco was of Elijah Love. So there's still so much to unpack here within that, but look at this already. Elijah Love yelling at Centurion Hall as we were just mentioning it.
I mean, what do you make of the recent treatment of Centurion Hall at the hands of Elijah?
Well, quick cover there from Paris, only 2. I mean, obvious it is Elijah Love, maybe letting the power get to his head a little bit. Finally being champion, finally being on the top of the mountain, who knows? But that was almost a fast one there.
Elijah mentioned to Centurion, in that segment about, people only know who Centurion Hall is because of Elijah Love, but I've remembered plenty of matches over the last 9, 10, 11 months where there was some hairspray involved, there were some tactics. Like I don't think that Centurion Hall truly has nothing to do with the rise of Elijah Love here in 880 Wrestling.
No doubt about that, but the insane talent from both of these competitors just showing off in this ring. Look at Paris Sahara working around Elijah Love, delivering some innovative offense here throughout this contest. And if things continue to look this way, we could be crowning a new champion tonight. Paris on an absolute roll. Looking like suplex, bridging into the cover. Only a 2 count there.
Thus far, this has been another tremendous performance by Paris, who, just again, appears to have not lost a step.
Not at all. Big scoop slam there, and we have seen this before. Looking for that split, but Elijah Love wisely rolling out of the way. Champion did his homework and a big double stomp. Really caving in the chest of Sahara, cover and only 2. How did Paris kick out?
Tremendous resilience there by the challenger. Great to have Paris back here in 880 Wrestling.
Yeah, but look at this. Paris, though, quick roll up here on Elijah Love for the title. Only 2.
Almost captured it.
Elijah was able to escape there, and here comes Paris loading up. Big hurricanrana there, sending Elijah Love across the ring, and the champion is dazed right now. This may be Paris's moment. Big spinning kick down low. Elijah Love is rocked. Fisherman suplex into the bridge. Now the cover. That is 2, and it's going to remain 2. Paris is getting so close, Paul. So close, yet so far away. Big split there. This could very well do it in only 2. What more does Paris need to do to put away the champion?
Yeah, Elijah's got to be careful here. He may lose the TNF Championship before we even get the banner up.
Oh my goodness. Big kick leveling out Elijah Love, hooking both legs for the championship, and Elijah Love just powering out. I'm impressed by Paris so far. You see her staying on the attack, staying on the offense. Like you mentioned, Paul, Centurion Hall has been a complete non-factor in this match, aside from the bit of a screaming match we saw earlier. This has been all Elijah and Paris. Wait a minute, looking for possibly another kick. Elijah Love ducking under. And wait a minute, just as I spoke, Centurion Hall is up on the apron. She has been quiet for the remainder of this match. Possible hesitation from the Maneater. Getting down, Elijah Love, big spinning heel kick. Catching Paris on the top of her head, and we have seen this before. Into that moonsault from the top rope. Good God, nearly hit the ceiling. Cover, and still the champion.
Here's your winner, and still TNF champion, Elijah Love.
Well, just as we thought we were going to crown a new champion, Elijah Love continues to prove the odds wrong and retain his championship in his first title defense. Credit the assistant Centurion as we take another look here at the bougiest moonsault ever, all the way from the top, clearing the ring, and Elijah Love still your TNF champion.
Give the assist to Centurion Hall, who presented that title defense on a silver platter for Elijah Love by getting involved in this contest. But I don't know that the story between Elijah Love and Centurion Hall here has been fully told.
So much more to unpack. Don't forget, Lethal Lottery begins next week on 880 Wrestling Thursday Night Fights. I am Austin Cairns. That is the professional Paul Michaels signing off.
Strong, we judge, they play my song.